1 a.m. I've been contemplating life decisions for the last half an hour. I don't know how it's possible that my camera battery is flashing already and it was full last night. Anyways, hello! Welcome back. Oh, it sounds so cringy saying that. I'm feeling somewhat revived once again thanks to my cup of joe over here. I decided to go for a run this morning. I have been off for 4 days because I was off on the weekend, and then my 2 off days this week happened to be Monday, Tuesday, which worked out great for me. I don't know why it's so dark in here. Excuse the mess. I wanted this to be as much of a realistic video as possible, especially seeing as though I haven't been on here for so long. As I mentioned last night, things have been a little bit intense. But yeah, in other news, I ran my first ever half marathon on Saturday, and to some people that may not sound like a lot, but for me it was kind of a big deal because last year, shortly after I started working at this job, my boss often goes on these 5-kilometer park runs, and he asked me if I wanted to go with him one day, and I remember thinking, 5 kilometers? I could never. It was hard. And then we all signed up, me and most of my colleagues, for this 15-kilometer race in, I think it was September. That was that was intense. And then 1 or 2 of us saying, oh, next is a half marathon. And then we had this guest that was staying with us, who's a regular, and he was saying that there's this half marathon in Stellenbosch in February. This was nearing the end of last year, and I just remember thinking, 21 kilometers? Do you know who I am? I cannot do 21 kilometers, but I did it. And it felt amazing. I, to be honest, didn't train as much as what would have probably been necessary. It was difficult. You know, the mental aspect of it was the hardest. I just remember in the beginning thinking, like, I can't do this. I was like 6 Ks in, and I remember thinking, I still have 15 kilometers to go and I'm struggling already. But by the end it was amazing. So anyways, and like I said, I wanted this to be a super realistic video because there's a reason I haven't been consistent with these videos. And as much as I would love to work, and on top of that, I was not looking after myself, I was not nourishing myself as much as I could, I wasn't doing all the things that I know are good for me, and on top of that, life just happened to throw a bunch of curveballs at me and test my will to live continuously over and over again. And then I figured when 2026 started, it would be a new leaf, it would be a new year, and everyone was saying, oh, 2026 is going to be the year for everyone, and 2025 was the year of the snake, and that was all the shedding and the letting go of the old stuff, and 2026 is the year of the horse, and it's all about action and power and moving forward and new beginnings and blah 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 blah. And then when 2026 started, And the first couple of days were really good, and I was kind of really embodying that whole belief. After a week when all of that old darkness and depression and heaviness that I am used to carrying with me as like my backpack in life, that came back, and it proved to be heavier than ever. And it's a really tough pill to swallow, and I've had to remind myself of this so many times when I kind of pull myself out of these ruts that I find myself in at times, but no one is going to come and save you. As hard as that is to hear, when you are literally drowning in the depths and cannot pull yourself out, maybe you'll be lucky enough to have people that can hold your hand through those times, but no one can save you, and no one can save you from yourself, especially when you are drowning, but you're the one that's drowning yourself, if that makes sense. Or if life is drowning you, you know how to get out, but you're just not making those moves and taking those steps to get where you know you need to be. And this is a constant inner dialogue that I have within my own mind, kind of grappling the two sides of that whole perspective. The one being happiness is a choice, and doing the things that you know are good for you is your responsibility, and you need to take the steps and take the action that you know is necessary in order to keep yourself going in this life and in order to be happy and on top of things. But then on the other hand, it's like when I think that this side of the spectrum, when I embody these thoughts and believe these thoughts, it's when I'm in a good space. And I think that it's easier than it actually is when I'm on this side of the spectrum and in a completely dark hole, and I cannot even find the will to live and the will to get myself out of bed, apart from having to do so to go to work every day. But over and above that, I just do not have the will to genuinely laugh and be happy, apart from faking it when I have to, and showing up for myself and doing the things that I know are going to get me out of this so-called rut. I have no idea if that makes sense or if I articulated that in an understandable way at all, but I'm happy to be back. You and me. thought you might like to see my OOTD. Sorry to be presumptuous, but I'm going to show you anyway. Once again, I apologize for the background mess. It is on my list of to-dos to clean today. So this is the full fit. Just this dress that I made, which is pretty dirty actually. I wore it to work last week and I was cooking and yeah, got some food on there. I didn't know what to do with my hair. I washed it and I wanted to blow dry it, but then I thought, you know, let me just let it be natural. And as I decided that, the power decided to go out. My mother is phoning me. Hello. So I'm gonna leave soon. But what I was saying was the electricity went out in the whole of the deep south, and I just received a WhatsApp message informing me of this, and then I looked at the microwave and saw that the light was off. So anyways, no blow drying my hair, but I don't know what this scarf is looking like. I tried to put a mirror behind my head and see what's going on at the back. I don't know if it's looking stylish or if it's looking like what is she trying to do. But anyways, I'm going to head out now and have some dumplings. Time for lunch. I'm very hungry, so I'm going to go and eat some dumplings. Yeah. Okay, let's go. This afternoon when I got home from lunch with my mom, I was feeling so tired and I lay on my bed for a little bit and I ended up falling asleep and having a really good nap. Sometimes I nap during the day or in the late afternoon, and I have nightmares when I sleep during the day sometimes, but I had a really good nap this afternoon / evening for about 2 hours. I think I really needed it. And I woke up and I felt like I really didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to shower and go back to sleep and not record anything. But the whole day, even though I've been doing all these great things for myself and kind of choosing positive and healthy ways to show up for myself, I've honestly still just been feeling this heaviness inside of my heart and my body and soul. And I think the easy way out would be to just let myself, I suppose, rot away in bed, which I've been doing a lot lately when I've been feeling heaviness inside of me, just not doing anything and just rotting away in bed, which is not wrong. Sometimes we need to go through phases like that, but I feel like, yeah, I needed to have this kind of day and I needed to end it off in this kind of way. And I think I'm going to end this video here. I'm just going to journal a little bit and read my book and probably have an early night and back to work tomorrow. So I need to wake up really early in the morning and get back to it, and hopefully I'll have another opportunity to make another video soon. But if you made it this far, like I always say, thank you so much for being here. The lighting right now is really of poor quality, I apologize, but I just ran out of space on my memory card and had to go back and delete a bunch of videos just so I could have space to finish this off. But as I was saying, thank you so much for being here and spending the day with me and spending your time watching me ramble on about nonsense to the camera and spend a day in my life with me. It means a lot. And I will see you in another one soon. So many blessings. Good night. Ooh.